the impression material. So these are what is the impression? Is the negative likeness of your oral tissue or the imprint of the teeth and adjacent structure. That is called impression. So what are the ideal requirements you should have in your impression material? You should have a biological, mechanical, chemical, thermal, aesthetic and rheological properties should be available with that is what we also expect from our material. And actually you see with all the property that are been divided into different categories, that is accurate, impression, dimensional, stable and all these particular properties. These are actually all these properties we want in our material, but there is no single material available that can give us ideal requirements and give us one material. So there are so many materials available in dental field. So the classification will have a rigid and non-elastic materials. So you have a non-elastic, it's a plaster, impression compound, zinc oxide, eugenol, and elastic material you will have hydrocolloids, your agar-agar and alginate, and polysulfide, silicones and polyethers. So these materials you will have in your particular all impression dentistry. So according to the viscosity, high viscosity, medium viscosity and low viscosity, they are covered. So if you go with the classification with rigid and elastic and according to the setting, what set by chemical or temperature changes. Temperature material which set by temperature will be the reversible one, and the material which set by chemical will be the irreversible one. So this is the classification. We'll go with that particular classification, and we'll start with the different rigid impression material, that is impression compound. Impression compound, either they are type 1, type 2 and type 3. That is low physics, that is used for a border molding material. Medium physics, that is used for your impression making, and type 3, that is high physics, that is used for a special tray particular special tray preparation. So the composition of this impression material will be the natural resin, waxes, stearic acids and fillers. And stearic acid is more lubricant and plasticizer that keeps the material in moldable position. So the manipulation, you know this particularly, the hot water, you have to break down the material in the pieces and knead it into that particular tray, and then with soften homogeneous mix, you can load the impression material on the tray, and then you make an impression of that particular glass transition temperature. So what is the advantage with the impression compound? That is a biocompatible with the tissue, and also you can do the electroplating of that particular material, dimensionally more stable material than other materials, and also defect can be easily rectified by low fusing impression compound. The disadvantage is as the plasticizers go out or leach out, that this particular material becomes a rigid one. We'll start with the zinc oxide eugenol impression material. Another one is you have a material that is used for your making a final wash impression. After border molding, you can make an impression with zinc oxide eugenol. The base material will be the zinc oxide, and catalyst will be the eugenol, polyrosin and silica. The reaction takes place in the zinc oxide plus eugenol. That means that is a chelation reaction, and forms a zinc eugenolate, and that causes a material that particularly reaction will be formed, and the water will be the release out. So what are the factors affecting the setting reaction of that particular zinc oxide eugenol? In this particular, a drop of water can accelerate the reaction, but if the more amount of water is added in that particularly, the reaction will be retarded in that particular. So that you have to be very careful. The more amount of water will always decrease the setting time. Good dimensional stability. What are the advantages of this zinc oxide eugenol? It has a good dimensional stability, good detailed reproduction. That's why it is used in wash impression, final after border molding. Impression surface can be modified in that particular if you find that there is voids and that you can repair that. Easy to manipulate and sufficient working time. But the eugenol always has the burning sensation in that particularly. So you have to be always care that the outer surface of the mouth should not be attached, or face should not be attached with the eugenol. And it is messy to work. You have to be very neat and clean with that particular material handling. So the another is the impression plaster. This is material we use in the impression most of the time in orthodontist we use for the lipostatic impression, where we don't want to disturb the flabby tissue. So the material consists composed of calcium sulfate, heavy hydrate, potassium sulfate, borax and pigments. These are the materials that will be composed, and the filler is the style that separates from the afterwards will pour this impression material with the stone or impression plaster that will be separated from that particular impression material. So what is the advantage? It will give a good details and glycostatic impression, inexpensive, available, easily available. Viscosity can be easily altered and sets rapidly. Little dimension changes of setting. Separating agent must be applied sometime in that particular cases. Impression waxes, they are used in functional impression technique. You can make a impression with the waxes, that is for the glucostatic kind of impression sometimes, and in force, if you apply with the under-biting force, you can record a functional impression also. Mixture of a low melting paraffin waxes and bean waxes. This is called as for a correction of the impression with that particular epoxide ethanol, and also used for a functional impression. So this particularly, I will start with the hydrocolloid, that is the reversible kind of, that is agar-agar, that is converted from salt to gel. As the temperature decreases, it will come to the gel, and once it is gel, you increase the temperature, it will convert from gel to sol again. So this is a reversible kind of material. So the agar-agar is that particular material used, and irreversible is the alginate that is used, that is not going to change from one position from salt to gel. So that is what we use. So we'll start with the agar-agar. Agar-agar is the brush type of structure that is available. You have a borate, potassium sulfate, wax, thixotropic materials, water, and alkyl benzoate in that particular material. So this is the composition. Then manipulation, you require a specific equipment to do that particular material. So we require a boiling liquefaction section, that is 100 degrees Celsius boil temperature you want. And then you store that particular in the second storage materials compartment. You can store that particular impression 65 to 68 degrees Celsius, so that it will remain in a sol form. And then once you want to make an impression, you load the tray, and before putting in the patient's mouth, you temper that particular tray, because temperature is too high, that will burn the oral tissue. So you temper it up to the 46 degrees Celsius, and then you can put it in the patient's mouth. So that is the third part in the tempering section. So you require a special tempering or boiling equipment for the agar-agar. So what is the advantage? That is the only hydrophilic material in the impression material. So it is more easy to pour that particular material. Good elastic properties and good recovery, can be reused for the duplicating material. Can duplicate the cast of that particular material, and low working time and low material cost, high accuracy and fine details record of that particular. But the thing is that we can pour only one model out of that. So it is another thing is that we require extensive and expensive equipments for that particular material, and also you cannot really electroplate that particular impression material. What is laminate technique? You can inject a syringe of agar-agar material onto the prepared tooth, and then place alginate on the impression tray, and place that particular alginate impression directly in the patient's mouth. So this is the combination of agar and alginate. So that is why it is called as the lamination technique. Also in the wet field, agar will be flooded with the warm water on that prepared tooth, and then you syringe agar material and liberally over the prepared tooth, and then make the agar place of tray material on a tray in the agar material, and with the hydraulic pressure you can place the tray on the material which you have placed on the prepared tooth. The second material is alginate. That is what we commonly use in our clinic. That is the potassium alginate, soluble alginate, calcium sulfate, oxide. That is material filler particles. That is potassium titanium dioxide is the accelerator. So basically, the potassium alginate and calcium sulfate that reacts, and that forms a calcium alginate. That is a non-soluble part, and that causes the reaction. So this is the sodium alginate plus calcium sulfate, and that forms a calcium alginate. So that is the reaction, but this gel will never convert back to sol. So that's why you can, this is only the reversible, one step you will use, not like agar-agar, you cannot use it repeatedly. So what are the different types? You have a type 1 is a fast set, type 2 is a normal set. So accordingly to the setting time and working time, you can use that particular material whatever you want, because normal setting time will take a lot more setting time, and if the patient may have some gagging or something like that, in that particular case, you can use a fast setting material. You can control the gelation reaction by adding retarders. By manufacturer can do the composition change and add the retarders. Also by dentists, cold water, you have to use cold water, so that it will longer the gelation reaction and you will get a sufficient working time. So in the summer you have to be very careful, don't use the hot water or warm water, so that will cause a fasten the reaction and you will not get a sufficient working time. So these are the this is what we always do in our clinics. Latest advances in a modified alginate. Nowadays you get a chromatic alginates, so that shows the indication that how much mixing time you can have, how much working time you can have, and when to place in the patient's mouth and when the material will set. So every step will have a different color, and that indicates to the that particular material time. So you have to work according to the chromatic change of alginate. And also there are dustless alginates. The glycol coating will be given on the dust powder of the alginate, so it will not be free in the air. So that's why it is the dust alginate. There are advantages with the alginate. It is mixed and easy to manipulate, not like agar-agar. It don't require a special equipment, so easily you can do in the clinics, and also the accurately you can do, and the cost wise it is also much cheaper than your agar-agar and other elastomeric impression material, and comfortable to the patient, and also hygienic kind of. But the thing is that you cannot electroplate this particular impression material because it has this syneresis and imbibition kind of properties that accepts the water, absorbs the water, and so once you put it in electrobath, it will absorb the water and change the dimension. So the distortion occurs easily. That is the one more problem with this particular material. So you have to pour immediately as you do this particular material. We'll start with the elastomeric impression materials. There are different kinds of rubber-based and elastomeric impression material: polysulfide, polyether, condensation silicone, and addition silicone. You can also classify them according to the consistency, that light body, medium body, and putty material. So these particular materials you can see in your this. What are the properties with this particularly? You can you have a sufficient property with this that. Excellent reproduction of surface detail, general hydrophobic in nature, good elastic properties and dimension inaccuracy, excellent tear strength, and you can electroplate this particular material. When we take a dye and dye material, we will show that how it is electroplated. Excellent shelf life and generally high cost, and you can do the repeated cast pouring of that particular material. So we'll start with the polysulfide. The polysulfide material will be a liquid polysulfide polymer. This has a filler like stachynic dioxide, zinc sulfate, and lead dioxide, reactor based lead dioxide, and phthalate. So that means the polysulfide polymer reacts with the lead dioxide, and this is the reaction takes place and that forms a polysulfide and lead oxide. But only this is a cross-linking reaction, that particularly chain linking by oxidation of terminal groups. So this is a endothermic reaction. Well, the most disadvantage of this particular property, this material is it has unpleasant odor and unpleasant color and stains. So that's why it is least popular in the industry. It has different viscosities, like viscous and sticky, and mixing very difficult in this particular condition. Long setting time. So that's why, and one other is hydrophobic in nature. So it is not easily plated. Also, it can be electroplated with the silver than copper. So it is always electroplated with the silver. Silicone rubber-based impression is two type of impression material: condensation silicone and addition silicone. These are classified according to how the reaction takes place in that particular polymerization. So in condensation, reaction will take place by condensation, and in addition, the chain addition reaction will take place. So we'll see the condensation silicone. It's a base material. It is provided in base and accelerator base. Base contains polydimethyl siloxane and colloidal silica and microside metal oxides. An accelerator will have alpha-ethyl silicate cross-linking agent, and that's formed the reaction takes place, and that causes a condensation type of reaction to take place. And in this particular reaction, you will find the ethyl alcohol is act as a byproduct, and that will be evaporate, and that causes shrinkage and dimensional instability of the material. And also one of the most important things is that you require a tray adhesive material for that particular material, because it will not adhesive to the tray. So you require adhesive, or you have to take a perforated tray in that particular things. So it has a pleasant odor and color as compared to the polysulfide, because that is the disadvantage of the polysulfide. Here, actually, it is acceptable in color and odor. Mixing time of 45 seconds and setting time of 80 to 90 minutes. Excellent reproduction of sulfate with and highly elastic and lesser dimensional stability. But if the time takes place evaporation of ethyl alcohol that causes damage and instability. And another is it is hydrophobic in nature, and you can electroplate this particular with silver and copper both the materials. Addition silicon, that is the most widely used and most likely by all the dengues, base material and accelerator. This has the polymethyl hydrogen siloxane, and the accelerator we have a divinyl polysiloxane. So this particular reaction takes place by vinyl siloxane plus silent siloxane, so that causes the silicon rubber. So this reaction takes place by addition chain reaction. So that's why it is called as addition silicon. Most important thing that you should not mix this particular material with a normal latex gloves in hand, because the sulfur coated on the latex gloves will hamper the polymerization reaction, and that will not allow to do the polymerization properly. So always use vinyl gloves, or you can manipulate the material bare-handed. But there are excellent properties with this. It has a pleasant odor and color, excellent production of surface details, and also it is a hydrophobic in nature. So always use the surfactant before pouring the cast. It can be electroplated with silver and copper. So another material is a polyether, that is material which can be used in a single consistency. So base and accelerator base, you will have polyether polymer and aromatic sulfonic ester, and that causes the reaction of that particular sulfonic cross-linking rubber formation. This is a exothermic kind of reaction. Almost 4 to 5 degrees Celsius temperature will be released out from this particular reaction. Another is it has a pleasant odor and taste. Mixing time is 30 seconds, setting time of 8 minutes. Dimensional stability is very good, and the curing shrinkage is low. Very steep. After setting, the material becomes very steep. This is the steepest kind of material in elastomeric material. So you have to be very careful by removing the cast. You may break the teeth while removing the cast. And this is the hydrophilic in nature. So it is most important thing. You can electroplate this particular material with silver and copper. So these are the comparative properties of your polysulfide condensation silicon and addition silicon. The polysulfide has that unpleasant odor and taste that material, and it is a messy to work, while the polyether will have a stiffer kind of material, so you may chance of breaking the teeth of that particular. So condensation and addition silicon will be the choice of your material while using that particular material in clinics. So another material, how you do that, automatic dispensing and mixing devices are there to use that, so you don't have to manual mixing of paste. You always have a cartridge and syringe, and they can dispense that automatically over that in the pressure. So more uniform mix you will get, and less air bubbles will present in that particular, and that causes a reduced working time in that particular material. So the single mix or monophase technique here, like polyether and this particular medium body of addition condensation you can use. You can use a material, load the tray and place in the patient's mouth, and you can make an impression. The same way here is the double mix means or multiple mix. That means you can use a combination between putty and light body. Two consistency you can use. But also there is a two way. Either we can do one stage impression or two stage impression. One stage means you make a first putty impression. You make a putty impression along with you put a light body in the patient's mouth. At the same time, you can put that putty impression in the patient's mouth. So that both the materials, light body and putty mix together. So that is the one stage impression. But if you make a two-stage impression, you have to take a putty impression first, and then reline that with the light body in the latter stage. So the two consistency of putty and light will be mixed at different times. So these are the materials how you use in your clinics. Recommended disinfection. As you know that this particular COVID, the disinfection is more top subject in this particular time. So disinfectant is very important. All the materials what you take impression in the patient or in the patient's mouth and you send to the laboratory, you have to always disinfect it before sending it to the laboratory. If material polyether or polysulfide and silicone, you can do the tetrahydrate, chlorine compound, hydrochlore, phenol or sodium hypochlorite you can use for that particular disinfection of the material.